number one he did, didn't he, in a minute?
But he cheated. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
I ain't going to argue with him, am I?
No, he just had the right swing, didn't he?
No, there's two things. You always have to cut out two. I would never do the gym test.
Yeah, the gym test.
They were silly.
Well, they called it the House of Pain, didn't they?
Yeah, well, because you got that, and then you got half an hour later you're doing another event, and I'm going, no way whatsoever. So I never did those, and I'm a poor swimmer, and weightlifting's all right. So I had to do one of those two, so I alternated which one I missed out, depending on how many people were in it. You just work it out, get your points.
Is that what you want to ask him?
No, I'm just like in order still, aren't I?
This is the lad I can't usually shut up.
Sorry, fam. I'm just like bum.
Has anyone else got any questions for Keith?
Go on, Lucia.
I'd like to ask you, how do you think you'd fare against the modern wingers of today? Like, I'd put you in the top three myself.
Would you? Well, that's very kind of you. I think that I would struggle a bit. I'm only, 5'7.5", and mind you, we train twice a week, and they're training every day.
Exactly.
Playing. I'd be about this wide. I really would. I'd be about this wide. And I'm not going to be any taller, am I? I'd be about this wide, and I'd be faster, perhaps, but it's hard. It's hard.
To me, though, as a fan, the only one who's ever come close to you speed-wise was Martin Afile, I think. And even then, I think
he was fast. Stuart Wright was quick. Yeah. Stuart Wright was quick. But it all depended, because Martin and Stuart weren't that quick off the mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it depended. I mean, if you take something like Jason Robinson, he's not that fast top speed.
Yeah.
But off the mark, he was absolutely dynamite.
That's what you need, really, in rugby, isn't it? Really,
that's right. A lot of my pace was down to timing. So you know full well that a lot of tries I scored was either chasing a kick, which out and out pace, or there's a little bit of room which you don't get so much of nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 70s, early 70s, there was still, because it's only not long been over the changeover from unlimited tackles, really, and it was only the first year of two divisions, and there was still a lot of players who were not that mobile. And if I got the ball on the outside, this is something that Salford were absolutely outstanding at, from a scrum, which used to be a reasonably proper scrum.
Yeah.
In your own 22, we'd have a whole array of moves that would put me out on the outside. Then all you've got is your loose forward and your full back. Possibly your covering wing, but not usually. There was nothing else. Nowadays, there's whole defences of drift defences, up and across. There's players covering, there's scrum halves coming across, there's even second row forwards covering across. It's a different game.
Do you think rugby nowadays is a lot better than it was, or do you prefer it in them days?
Of course, I prefer it in those days.
Yeah, in the 70s.
Yeah, there was.
It was a match for the Aussies then, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
It really was a match for them.
Yeah.
There wasn't much difference. Yeah, it wasn't much difference, was it?
More skillful.
Yeah,
I can remember going out on tour to Australia, and the actual skill levels of some of the British players was absolutely outstanding.
Well, we had some great players in that team. When you think Roger Millwall, players like
that's
that.
Right,
it was class, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's one of the players that I've seen since I've been retired. Well, before he passed away, but. He was a splendid player and a good captain as well, because he was on the Great Britain tour that David Watkins was the manager, and that was a grand tour. It really was good. Lovely.
What's been the highlight of your career?
Rugby league?
Yeah, rugby league wise,
Scoring my first hat trick, scoring 4 tries against Wigan.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Central Park.
How about your pie eaters?
Hey, have a bit of that, Wigan. I missed that bit out.
Try of the season against Warrington in the replay.
Yeah.
That was a good try. Playing for Great Britain. Which is the pinnacle.
Yeah. You can't get no higher than that, can you? We were speaking to Adrian Marley. He said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
The pinnacle of any rugby league.
You go on to
which one though? He's 12 seconds one, or he's.
Well, I think that was probably his.
Well, I didn't want to ask him that.
We
weren't asking him that one. He's a big lad.
Hey, listen, Steve. I work in Ordervale in Adrian Marley. I am today. You know what I mean?
So, how do you think Salford now? What do you think of Salford now as an old Keith? I know it's changed.
Do you know something? I'm a terrible watcher of sport. when I go to a game, it's not to watch the game really. It's to meet my mates or to
Catch up with old friends.
have a catch up. Have a catch up.
Reminisce.
And I find myself not watching a lot. I don't watch rugby union unless I'm with a group of mates, international game. I watch rugby league. I can watch about 10 or 15 minutes and I'm
Itchy fingers, itchy feet.
It's terrible. I'm moaning and so it's a difficult one. A, because I've not seen enough play. But Salford are always going to be in a tricky situation with regards to players, because they have to buy such a lot of players in, and with the salary caps, even though there's money available, and I'm sure Mr. Kukash...
he's got plenty, hasn't he?
Well, he may well have, but he's perhaps a little bit worried that he can... I know he's tried hard, hasn't he, to get this salary cap cut for one or two players, marquee players.
Marquee signing. He would have been a marquee signing at the time.
Do you know? Brian Snape signed me on watching me on one sevens tournament.
Don't blame
He'd
him.
never seen me before, and he watched me play sevens. And he always thought that sevens, rugby union sevens, was like a small rugby league game, and he wasn't far off. It wasn't far off. Flat defence, put your winger
Get
away.
the ball in the open, boom, away.
Yeah.
Who was the hardest player you played against? When you thought to yourself, I don't fancy this today.
John Madden was quite tricky. Actually, some of the hardest players were not necessarily the best players. So there was a fellow called Austin from Bramley.
Jack Austin.
He was a handful. He was a handful. I had to think hard when I played against him.
Run the other way. Like.
Well, hey, I did that for 40 years. I ran away. As fast as I could. And this is the way I probably survived. But Jack Austin was hard. A fellow called Parker, I think it was it Keith Lee?
Yeah.
He was hard. Yeah. Seriously hard players. Alan Smith, who I never played against for Leeds, he was seriously hard.
They probably thought that when they come up against Mike Coleman and Colin Dixon.
We could very well be. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Dico was absolutely
I wouldn't like to have done that.
standing. No, not at all.
No, if he was going to tackle
Great
me,
player,
I'd
great
say,
fella.
Yeah, great team though at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I had the one centre you haven't mentioned is John Butler. Who was
John
very
Butler.
good.
Come
I know
from
he
Wigan,
came
didn't
from Rochdale to Salford.
and then went to Wigan.
And then went to Wigan. And did he end up at the same team? I mean, he's a St Helens lad. Fat O'Heath, I think he is, that way. And he was my centre, and he was superb. Absolutely give me some excellent passes. You got a pass off John, and you knew you got a chance.
You were in.
Oh yeah.
You were in.
There's one game I'm going to mention now. We was playing Widnes. I think it was a quarter final of the cup, and you made a break, but you just couldn't keep hold of the ball. And I know we shouldn't mention it, but I just wanted to go to Wembley.
So what are you trying to say? You're blaming Keith?
No, not blaming Keith. Blaming Keith. Saying like that.
Is that what you're trying
That's
to
all
say?
I'm saying.
It happens, doesn't it?
Out of 319 games, that's the one that's stuck in me.
Stuck in your mind.
Always, isn't it?
Not the 4 tries you scored against Wigan away. I just wanted to go to Wembley. I don't know why.
Well, everyone wants to go to Wembley.
No, that's the one regret. Never going to Wembley.
Yeah, it would have been great for it. And that would have took the club to another level, I think.
Absolutely right.
And I think that's the only thing that they lacked in the 70s, didn't they? Because the team was perfect.
Yes, it was.
Everyone in the town lived for the Friday night, didn't they?
Yeah. Friday night was absolutely brilliant night.
I remember
mean, all the players enjoyed it, took the families.
Yeah.
We'd play the game, then we'd have the beers, and we'd go into the variety centre. It was absolutely
It was
awesome.
buzzing, wasn't it? It was buzzing, and it needs to get that back nowadays, I think, down at the AJ Bell.
Yeah. I mean, the Christmas parties with the kids and whatever. I can always remember when my son was he'd be about 2, I think, and he'd gone into the Christmas party. And Father Christmas was Colin Dixon. He just couldn't work it out. He couldn't work it out.
Has he worked it out now, Keith?
Yeah. He did 40 now,
So what else we got to ask?
We've got to ask about your dogs, Keith.
Oh yeah?
Your dogs.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a funny thing. I wanted to do a bit more walking, and I thought, well, it's about rock time now. I used to have a dog a long time ago. So I wanted to get a border terrier. Okay? Canny little brown dog. very lively, lots of walking, but nice temperament. So I started looking around for a breeder, and I come across this fella called Darren Lockley. Now, he rung me back straight away because I emailed him. He rung me back straight away. He said, Keith Fielding. I said, yeah. The Keith Fielding said, that was his phrase. Yeah. And I've got to get your feet here. Do I owe you some money or something? And he said, I used to play for Salford Colts. So when I was playing first team, he was playing for the Colts. And he'd started breeding dogs, and he'd got a couple of border terriers he was going to have pups. And I said, I'll come and have a look. We had a look around. And then he let me, instead of him naming it, he let me name a dog. And I named it Jack Moss Lady Arbor Rouge, which is the Red Devils, as we were named in the 30s. In the 30s, when they played a game over in France. And so Jack Moss Lady Arbor Rouge, with me in a tweed jacket, mincing around Crufts. He won his class at Crufts.
Brilliant.
Me. Yeah, that's not best of breed. That's not champion, but in his class he won it. Which is, some people go there for years and years and never do anything.
That's absolutely.
So winner like his own, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. What?
You know what I mean?
I thought it was the jacket what did it. Actually, it was a nice jacket.
Is there anything else you want to ask?
Nothing to do with the dog.
What else?
Steve, do you want to ask Keith anything? Or?
Yeah, my memory from being a kid is not just being at the ground, but the old Floodlit League.
Yeah.
Say it again.
We used to have the old football league, the Floodlit League on a Tuesday night.
Oh yeah.
BBC
Yes.
Two. Quite an early BBC.
BBC Two, yeah.
And I remember you scoring a try down the right wing.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, what was it like fitting those big week games in for the Floodlit League, and whether you think that would be a good product now for rugby league?
Well, again, this is a different age. Remember, training twice a week. You could play twice a week dead easy. Yeah. Nowadays you're training every day and you've got to be absolutely spot on. But that Floodlit match was actually quite a good type of thing. The only bad thing that we ever had, I think, Hull came over one time and they were late arriving, and the BBC asked us to shorten the second half. So they could get the news. They got the answer. Yeah, well, they got the right answer as well. No, and, we won that game. But no, it was good. The Floodlit was really good. The problem was we also had things like that Captain Morgan Rum.
Yeah, there's all sorts of trophies at the time, wasn't there? Like
and that was a little bit. There was a little bit too much, you know. But a cup game.
Plus, there was a lot of league games as well at the time, wasn't there? Was it at the time?
Something like that, yeah.
Plus
there's a lot of league
plus your
games.
Lancashire Cup, plus your John Player Cup.
That's right.
Plus your Captain Morgan Cup, plus your Floodlit Trophy.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know the bar rugby players nowadays.
Plus, if you've got an international setup, you've got that as well.
So you probably play 60 odd games a year, aren't you? If you play for one of the top clubs like Salford, Wigan or St Helens.
Right. And that's why sometimes you might sort of your form might wander
burn out a bit.
So when you finally retired from rugby, did you really miss it at first, or was it?
That's a difficult question. In as much as I was 34, and I've actually thought about this a lot. I wanted to retire because I was coming to the end, and I have to be honest with you, a fellow called Henderson Gill went round me. Went in and out, went round me, and I thought, gee, if anybody's running round me, it might be just time to think about it. That was the start of it. The other thing was we weren't a good side. I think we lost to Bramley in our
Challenge Cup game, wasn't
it? Was it or no? It was.
We had a replay at Swinton, didn't we? We drew at our place.
Oh, the Swinton, yeah.
Then we played them again in a replay.
No, this was a league game. This is in 1983.
Yeah.
This is 1983, and I was thinking very much of making it my last season, although the next season would have been my benefit.
Yeah, it's gone.
I know. And I spoke to Mr. Wilkinson, and I said I'm thinking about retiring. I've had enough.